What's up, Digidestins? This is Kyle D, better known as Ridemyavatar, and today we got not one event, not two events, but 3 events to look over that had tops in it. Thanks Digimon English Facebook page that helps promote these deck lists. At least we get to see each top 4 deck of each event. I know we would love to see the top 16 or anything like that, but I get top 4 is a little bit easier to handle. So guys, let's dive right into the video and see what we can do. So first events we're going to talk about, it's going to go in order. We're going to do Europe, then North America's, aka Canada's event, then we're going to talk about Latin America's event. In that order, we'll see 1st through 4th, and we'll just kind of get a general idea of what decks are doing. I'm going to try a little more explaining of why this deck is doing so well and understanding what the kind of overall boss Digimon is with a few other things. So let's kind of go over it. First place is Lilith Monloop. First time it's topped, I think, in any regional, like first place at all. I think Lilith Monloop hasn't topped any of these major events. The major reason why this deck is so fantastically strong is because Lilith Mon can get you a bunch of memory that once you start using Mega Digimon Fusion, that a Zawart defeat, the first Zawart defeat is going to get you 2 of the promotes here. They're going to swing in twice. Then you'll swing in with Zawart, pump out Lilith Mon, and then if you have an ultimate ready on the field already, or you could do 1 promote, 1 ultimate, then Digivolve into Lilithmon, gain a bunch of memory, Digivolve into Omnimon Zawart again, take out another promote, and then another ultimate, and then swing in. Hopefully your promotes are dying in these situations so that you can combo in and just constantly just ping at opponent's life and just go at it until they have nothing left. So that's like kind of the overall synopsis of what this deck is doing. It's gaining a bunch of memory with the Lilithmon, and then spamming out promotes with Zawarts and Underworld Calling, possibly just so that you constantly just spam out a way of rushing your opponent down in the face. Next, we have a security control list. So over and all, we already know what security control kind of does. It takes a slower paced game and it wants you to swing into their security. Now with the Quadramon and Geogreymons in security control, it helps give another body that pops out with Omnimon Zawart defeats, so that you either draw a couple extra cards or you pop a Digimon in exchange, and then you can kind of start swinging in a little more recklessly, just because this version is like the updated one that we were seeing at the end of BT5, where it used Salamon and Bushi to help progress game state further while helping rush down your opponent. But this deck is how it's going to play out. We have TK here to pretty much, I'm guessing, to see what your security is like, but also to be able to pull out the weaker Digimon, because sometimes you have bad security and you want to make sure you can get the right security in there. So you want to take out the weaker Digimon so that when your opponent starts swinging into it, they hit an option more likely. So that's kind of why the TK's here, probably. I don't personally know, but I'm assuming that's where it's going to go. And Sukuyamon's in here to help mitigate the OTK decks, because if this is out, they can't really do anything. They have to remove her first before promoting their stuff out. If they don't, then you're kind of in the clear, because you're going to just kill off anything else they try to build up. They have to pull it out eventually. So Sukuyamon, the longer it stays on the board against an OTK deck, the longer you win. Next, we do have 3 Musketeers. 3 Musketeers is the same idealism behind the security control list, but with the added bonus of using Bellastar that can come in cheaper and cheaper, and use Nailbone to use like Genkamon promote. So it kind of spams Genkamon promotes with Bellastar with Nailbone to kind of get that game finishing win. But it also has Craniumon in here for the mirror matches and for any of the nasty little decks that think they can just pop your stuff by options. So also security control, they have to kill Craniumon first, or Gundramon and Craniumon's just gonna walk it because they don't play more than just Wyvern's Breath. So if you can get them to burn through all 4 of their Wyvern's Breath early enough, and then you can get one final Craniumon to come in, Craniumon's just gonna cakewalk it until they get a Zord Defeat out to just try to remove it. But outside of that, there's nothing they can really do to remove Craniumon besides minusing DPing it. So with Nailbone, you spam Genkamon promotes and get blocker back. That's kind of what you do. Or in the mirror match, you use Nailbone, get a Genkamon promote and a Guzzymon, because Guzzymon can shut down the memory booster. So that's also a big thing, because memory boosters can't pop off their delayed effects because they won't gain the extra memory. So that's how you kind of shut them down. It's just really powerful skill all around. Zawart Defeat, same thing. Millenniumon's in here to get rid of any Craniumons or any nasty Digimon you don't really want to deal with. But outside of that, your options really take care of everything. Next, let's go into this. We have another security control list. Yes, this event with Lilith Monloop had 3 forms of a security control style deck. You had Bellastar, 3 Musketeers, which is a security control deck at heart, but plays a little differently. But then you have also the 2 physical security controls here. So TK, Holy Wave, just to get more recovery. The only problem I see with this list is nothing really, to be honest with you. It's got big beefy Craniumons in here. I think this is a pretty solid list. Using the TK to fetch out probably the weaker Digimon in security just to clear out. But outside of that, just a very stock list. Holy Wave in there just so if they hit it in security, instantly recovery 1. I see where they're going with it. I like the Craniumon tech. It really does help out in the mirror matches, just because as long as you can get a couple Craniumons to stick, after they burn through a few of them, you're just golden and you clear out. Now let's talk about North America. This is Jesmon. This is without the trial deck. So this is Dan Vega's list. I went over this more in depth in another video, but this is Gravity Crush is in here to help get your Jesmon out easier. And let's be honest, he played the Biomon in here for that swing in to get that extra memory that they might just need to get into Jesmon. So it's a really great tech, very smart play. Then you got your basic Gabumon Rookie Rush style deck using the Gabumons. Forbidden Tridents in here just to pretty much get a little extra oomph when you swing in with your rookie to hopefully keep it on board a little bit or anything like that. So it's a really solid deck overall. I think they went really well with it. So I'm not going to dive too much into it. Got Rookie Rush with Otamamon. So another 5k body. So they wanted 4, 8, 12, 15 5k bodies, which help out a lot. And then the Mechanoriumon tech is to help out against other bond matchups or anything like that. It just helps keep slowing them at bay. Next, we did have a Agu Bonds of Bravery, Bonds of Courage. I like where he went with it. It is tough. It's tough in this format because without the trial deck, you lose out on a little bit of oomph or finesse, as I'll say. But I think he played it really well and played it smart. I think having this Agumon Expert, 4k Agumon is huge because at least if you play that, you can choke your opponent's memory. Geogreymon is to compensate for the loss of the security Greymon. And then I kind of see where he was going with the Corjamon tech. At least Corjamon will block something. So they kind of both fill in the Geogreymon that comes out of security. So I like where this went. And Happy Bullet Shower is in there just to take care of the big guys. I like where he went with this just to compensate without the, Atomic Blaster. So I like where he went with this. This is a very smart play. Gravity Crush definitely to help him if Marcus wasn't right there. So because all you need is a good turn and you win. Let's talk about LATAM. Latin America also saw a Lilith Monloop win, which is crazy. So that's awesome. Very different deck style if you look at it. They use Takumi Avia as a 3 of. So instead of using Manoa to get them to 3, they're using Takumi Avia they didn't really care for that, so Jack raids. So as I mentioned earlier, they're just gonna spam in Zawart defeats with Mega Fusion with Lilithmon, gain a bunch of memory with the Jack raids, and then use, you know, Underworld Calling to get that last Genkamon promote swing in. Just all the crazy good stuff, and especially since most of these on plays do activate, Genkamon and Kinkakumon will all go underneath the promote and then just go for game. So that's always a good sight. Now we got second place Jesmon. Jesmon using War Greymon as another dedicated plan target, which is very interesting to me because if you take away that, you lose out. If you digivolve into something and you lose out on your Systemon's blocking and power boost, War Greymon does struggle a little bit, but having another out to security control is huge, especially if you get a couple ties, a Greymon. But one Savior Hakumon is very interesting. And the Guilmon, yes, I get the draw, but if you're not going to have the warp aspect, just play the Biomon at that point, in my opinion. But, you know, Guilmon is still a little more easier to probably proc off for its draw. So that's not bad. Then we have another Bonds of Bravery. This deck is starting to see more and more competitive viability. I'm really proud of this list. I think he did a great job. So you got Agumon, 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 Agumon. Then you have Greymon here that will digivolve on top of an Agumon for cheaper. So that might mean that you get a little extra draw power that you didn't have. So I'm very proud of this list. I think Gravity Crush is a great option and was slept on a little bit. So definitely don't sleep on Gravity Crush. It's like another Hammer Spark. It doesn't go off. No, let me rephrase this. This is like another, not Hammer Spark, but it is like the Blinding Ray. At least it gives your opponent 2 memory in exchange. So you get 1 Marcus and 1 tie. I kind of get it. Then we have Bonds of Friendship taking 4th place in this one. This is the Rookie Rush style build using trial deck Gabumons. Just overall, you know what it does. It needs Mad Ishida to digivolve into on top of this Gabumon to get into Gabumons, swing 3 times, and then you're gonna spam out the hybrids on top of your tamers and win the game. That is pretty much the overall census of how that deck plays. So guys, let me know down in the comments what you think of these lists. What were your kind of moments? Did you actually play in these regionals? Let me know what decks you actually played. And guys, without further ado, remember, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace!